everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Beard Al Podcast, a podcast about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And we are trucking along through the 40th anniversary celebration of the Weird Al Yankovic in 3D album. And the gentlemen who are in the room, they just always see me look up whenever I say Weird Al Yankovic in 3D, because I have a copy of the album hanging on the wall. So every time I say the title of it, I look up at it. It's not
with the hype sticker on it and everything.
Yeah, it's hanging up there, hanging up there. I am Lauren, as always. That has not changed, and that will not change. I don't feel like doing the paperwork.
To your knowledge.
And as that voice that you know is the fortunate soul that I dragged in here from the living room, my husband Russ. Hello.
Hello. It's a long way to get here.
It's a long way to get here. I know. And we have along for the ride voice you've heard on this show before, and you've heard us on his show before, and it's Dayton from Docking Bay 77. How are you, my friend?
I am delightful, as you like to say. I'm having a very good evening. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. So
I'm excited about this one.
Sticker.
Just quickly, I'm excited about this one because I was sitting here when you found out the song was a thing.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to have the follow up to that discussion. But I'm sorry, what were you going to say about the hype sticker?
Well, no, you mentioned the hype sticker on your in 3D album. Well, on my wall, I have a copy of Synchronicity.
I see it
with the hype sticker still on.
That's right.
That one, and it's still sealed. I found it at a record store in the wild, so it's still original. That's still sealed that I have not opened.
So what's funny is I bet I'll have it in there. So, well, you know this because your tagline is physical media is always better. One thing I like about collecting old records, as opposed to I don't have anything against reissues overall, but one thing I like about collecting original pressings is sometimes they would have inserts and things in there that you wouldn't see otherwise. And so probably in your sealed one, a copy of Synchronicity I used to have had a big, huge, way too big, fold out order form to order the police concert VHS tape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I thought it was and in those instances, I always want to fill out a thing and send it.
Let's see what happens in the year of our Lord 2024.
Arrives, yeah,
yep.
Right.
And then I used to have an original pressing of Sign of the Times by Prince that came with a postcard, blank postcard for no, it was just hey, just send someone this Prince postcard. So, yeah,
that's lovely. Yeah, so speaking of things that are hype, Dayton, why don't you tell good segue, I tried. Why don't you tell the listeners of the Beard Al Podcast all about what y'all are doing over there, because it's super fun.
Okay, sure. So yeah, I'm the host and kind of the brainchild, I guess, behind the Docking Bay 77 podcast. I am truly blessed to have so many friends that enjoy being on the podcast. I think my number of guests, regular guests, have now gone up to 15 or so, some of which are now hosting their own episodes. But for the most part, you can call us a pop culture or entertainment podcast. I actually kind of like to refer to us as the indie filmmaker or the underground band that's more concerned about just putting out quality and not getting famous, because I decided long ago we're never going to be the number one podcast anywhere, and that's fine. We're just more concerned about putting out quality episodes and talking about things that maybe some people don't know about. But yeah, we've done episodes on mostly music and movies, but we've also hit some books. In fact, our number one downloaded episode is one we did on the book Fantastic Land from Mike Bachhoven, which is basically Lord of the Flies in an amusement park after a hurricane, is basically the best way to describe it. And it's a fantastic read, and for whatever reason, it's our number one downloaded episode. So can't explain it. I don't try to figure it out. But so we've also talked comic books, video games, and even did an episode on our top 7 celebrity crushes. So stuff like that. We have a lot of different topics. Like this month, we did our top 7 movies of the 1980s. The fantastic Ang Lee film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. We just dropped an episode on our review on Akira, and we even did a Dwayne Johnson episode where we compared his version of Jumanji versus the Jungle Cruise. So we hit a lot of fun topics, and we have a blast doing it. And as far as I'm concerned, since we have so many great guests on there, it's nice to have a lot of different voices and takes on things, and different backgrounds see things different ways. So I think that's great.
I think that's great too. Yeah, diversify the voices that are happening, which Russ and I were actually talking earlier today about how excited we were to have you on to talk about this particular Weird Al song because you're like the police guy. You're not like so far much the Weird Al guy. So this is like I'm really stoked for this perspective. So I think, you know, everybody who comes on the show is like, I love Weird Al and that's the best thing that's ever happened in the entire world. And while true, I'm just excited to get into this conversation. So people listening, you've heard this format. You've heard what's happening. You've heard us go through this album. We're already, into side 2 of Weird Al Yankovic in 3D. And so we're talking about King of Suede today, of course, which is a parody of the Police song King of Pain. And, I have one fun little trivia nugget about this song that I was very, very excited to share with the group. Because it's so on point and it tracks. So to prepare to write the lyrics for this song, Al went to an actual business that dealt in suede. It was called Wilson's House of Suede and Leather. Because he wanted the song to sound realistic. And he later admitted that he nearly got arrested for loitering on account of hanging out at the place for so long.
That's funny.
Isn't that delightful?
Oh, I like that. That's interesting. Every time I hear suede, I'm thinking, I don't think I've ever owned anything suede. I always think about the movie Can't Buy Me Love and that suede jacket that gets ruined in that movie. That's the first thing pops in my head when I hear about suede. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if, and similarly, I think of the Seinfeld episode where he bought that suede jacket and then had the terrible lining, and then he couldn't wear it inside out because it was pink.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever owned anything suede either. I think about it. I don't think so.
Yeah, I've always been. It's a kind of above my, I guess my care. I'm afraid I would ruin it like instantly and never wear it. So what's the point of having it?
That's why I don't own sunglasses. Like everybody I know has like nice sunglasses, and I will lose sunglasses. I have the stunning ability to lose sunglasses. I'm pretty sure I hold the world land speed record for losing sunglasses. So like, there's no point in me having any. So that's like why I don't even bother.
Yeah,
I just squint real hard.
I see. I shifted. I used to buy $10 sunglasses like constantly in high school and college, and then around in the mid 90s, I was gifted a pair of Ray-Bans, and I still own those to this day. So,
nice.
Believe it or not.
I believe it. I am trying to think. Yeah, I just got a relatively inexpensive pair of prescription sunglasses.
How do we know they're yours?
Because I got them with my name engraved on the side on the arm. It says Lauren.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That way I don't ever pick them up.
Right, by accident.
Yep.
But yeah, I when I was in college and I was at the beach and I had just gotten a new pair of prescription sunglasses and they were Ray-Bans, like they were expensive. So like the frames were expensive and they, like a prescription lens and everything. The ocean ate them.
Oh, no.
It was terrible.
That happens.
It does happen. And so, so this was in Virginia Beach. And then like a month or two later, I was at the beach in New Jersey. And like, how tides go in the Gulf Stream. And I was like, my sunglasses have to have gone north. Like, what if I find them?
Right.
I'm pretty sure something ate it. That's what probably happened.
I know. It's just like a really cool looking octopus down there. My Ray-Bans.
Right. I have a kind of a funny little story about this song, like that could go into this. I guess there's nowhere else to tell it.
Tell it.
Here. So when I first bought in 3D, well, okay, I should back up and say for me, at the time that this Police song was out, for me, Every Breath You Take, which was everywhere, like you couldn't turn on any electronic device without Every Breath You Take playing.
True.
But for me, the song I loved more was Wrapped Around Your Finger from the Synchronicity LP. And so for whatever reason, somehow I missed entirely that King of Pain was a single. So when I bought in 3D, the only two songs that I knew on it, obviously, when I bought it was Eat It and That Boy Could Dance. And as a little kid, I used to, when I bought a record, I would immediately skip to literally drop the needle on the track that I knew, and then sometimes I would let songs before and after play. So the song before that on In 3D is King of Suede. So when I dropped the needle, I could hear the outro, that I'll always be King of Suede. Okay. Now, those K-Tel Records used to put out these compilations where they did not care about any sort of sound quality. They would put like Dayton, tell me if I'm wrong here, I want to say 35 songs on each side of the record, something like that.
It felt like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying to cram as much as they could on there.
Yeah, like 3 and 4 minute songs with like maybe a half inch it would take up on the side of the record, like way too many. It was just like we're putting out as many songs as we can on here. And I don't remember what song it was that I bought that for, but King of Pain was the song before it, and I had never heard it before. And so I dropped the needle to hear the song that I bought the K-Tel compilation for and heard the outro of Sting, and I was like, wait a minute, that's that song from the Weird Al album. So like that's how I ended up hearing King of Suede first. I went back to listen to King of Suede after I realized that it was a Police parody. Because again, Wrapped Around Your Finger and Every Breath You Take was like all I knew of the Police at that time. So, and actually before we just did this episode, I didn't even know King of Suede was an official single off of this record and Dayton just tweeted before we started recording a picture of the 7-inch cover for it.
That's so great.
I was at a place in Granville, Michigan called the Corner Record Shop, which, by the way, if anybody's local to that place, it's on the west side of Michigan. Good Lord. It's the most amount of 45s I've ever seen in my entire life in one spot. And I was going through the singles there and came across a 7-inch for King of Suede with the cover looks like the Synchronicity artwork and Weird Al looks like Sting.
Right.
But I was standing there holding that being like, I didn't know this was ever even a single. Holy crap. So
It's great.
So yeah, a couple of weird connections to it for me.
Well, going into this, I remember you had asked because I remember Russ suggested I do the Brady Bunch, and I was okay with that until he told me it was a parody of the Safety Dance.
Right. Yeah.
I hate the Safety Dance.
Now, what do you have against it? Do you hate dancing or do you hate safety?
Or just when they're paired up.
I'm a big supporter of safety. No, that song just, it rubbed me the wrong way, and it was just all over the radio. It was all over MTV, and every time it came on, it just put me instantly in a bad mood. So,
it's funny you say that. I tell Lauren knows I say this a lot to her about certain songs. I always say I don't hate this song, but if I never heard it again, I'd be okay with that.
Yes.
And a lot of times what reminded me of that saying is what you just said. Sometimes songs come out and like you said, either it's overplayed for you or, just when you hear, you're just like, I just do not like this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing about that song works for me at all. And so that's why when you guys mentioned King of Suede, I was like, oh, I know that song, and well, actually, let's set the Wayback Machine to 1990 when I was gifted a CD boombox for my birthday. And I had a bunch of records and I had well over 300 cassettes. So buying my first CD was kind of a big deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent days, I'd go to a CD shop and look around or whatever. And I decided I needed to buy something I didn't already have. And I thought, well, I'll pick out a greatest hits because why not? And of course, I still own it to this day. So yes, that's the kind of person I am. I actually have the Police, Every Breath You Take, the singles.
That's the good hits package. They have like 2 others, but that's the good one.
Well, what cracks me up, and I'm sure is that they were going to re-record all the songs, to kind of show how they had grown musically. Well, in typical Police fashion, they couldn't get along, so they only did one song. And
What?
And the rest is just the originals on there. So yeah, I found that incredibly amusing. So yeah, I still have my CD that I bought when I was 19.
That's great. I think that's wonderful.
That is.
I love that. Well, on that note, shall we move on to talking about what we think really works about King of Suede?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I've been tending to let the guests kick things off, and we go kind of around the room or organically as things happen. So we've each got 3 things that we think really work about King of Suede. So Dayton, I'll let you go first. What do you think works?
Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is, we know that Al's really good with lyrics and being funny and clever and very witty. And the lyric in here that caught my fancy very quickly was "Don't step on my blue suede shoes," which I heard the first time I heard that, I laughed out loud. I thought this was so much fun, and it had to be in there. And it's one of those things. Once I heard it, I'm like going, "Yes, this is exactly where it's supposed to be," and it made me happy. And of course, my brain also went to that song as well. But just that lyric, "Don't step on blue suede shoes," made me very happy, and I was like, "Yay, this is in here!" So now I need to focus on the rest of the song.
Yeah, it's that little, that joke is like, I know I'm singing this whole song about suede, and if I don't mention blue suede shoes, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, why didn't you talk about blue suede shoes?"
Yeah,
right,
for sure. You would think, of all things, you would think I would have owned blue suede shoes at some point, but I have not.
Like the item, the footwear.
Mm-hmm.
Mental note, gift idea. Mental
there
note.
you go.
I'm joking. I'm not actually. And
then you're gonna spend the whole rest of your life having to lay off of them.
Yeah, I won't.
Yeah, the lyrics I like a lot to this, and Weird Al has this ability to make me be like, never in 1,000,000 years would I think someone would write a song about this, but then I always laugh really hard at the references and ways he gets things to rhyme. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure we've talked about this on your show before. If I haven't talked about it with you, you've certainly talked about the way that he fits any topic into an existing rhyme scheme and melody. And I think that's a really underrated thing. That's why, I know you and I have talked about this. The thing where I'm certain Weird Al can't go into Trader Joe's without people being like, you know what you should do? So you should do, okay, so you know that song? You should do this instead of that. That's why you're not Weird Al.
Yeah.
Because like every idea that you give him is terrible. Right. And this is one of those things where like, if you were to say to me, hey, you know that Police song King of Pain? Yeah. Weird Al has King of Suede. I'd be like, my first question would be how?
Right. It's so strange.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I when I was listening to him, I'm like, he's telling a story about a guy that's been in the same place for, I think it's 30 years. He's doing the same job, and his employees are overworked and underpaid and all this other stuff.
And I like how at the end he's like still trying to give you the sales pitch. So like you should really like, I've been here forever, but like you really should stop by though, because like we have these great deals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right next to Willie's Fun Arcade, and I'm like, I'm always up for an arcade. So
right,
why not?
yeah. I mean, if you're in Louis, anyways, right?
Right.
Yeah, make it, have a good time. Have a good time about it.
What works for me, the vocal on this is killer. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say a thing.
Uh-oh.
I think Weird Al sings this song better than Sting does.
No.
Listen, hold on. There is, I don't know if it's a first take thing or what, but there is like warble in Sting's when he holds the notes on this, and there's not like it's almost like Weird Al did it wrong, kind of, because he did it like more. He's like holding the note more solid than Sting is.
That's interesting. And this, we can throw it back a little bit to the last episode of the show where we were talking about Mr. Popeil, and one of the backup singers on Mr. Popeil, Lisa Popeil, right? Yeah. She is famously a vocal coach. All right. So what you're saying here is that Weird Al's vocal is almost too perfect, and I would posit that it's probably because there was a vocal coach in the midst who's like, he's probably like doing things technically correct. Because if anybody's going to do things technically correct, it's going to be Al,
And the only other thing I want to point out that works wholeheartedly for me on this, and I say this about everything that's not on the first album and everything that's not Eat It, the production. Like that. Like, and especially, I know, Dayton, you don't want to hear the Brady Bunch because you don't want to hear a version of the Safety Dance, but like
well, his version's better. I will say his version's way better than Safety Dance.
Yeah. But like the production on that is perfect. Like that sounds exactly like the Men Without Hats, right? And the synchronicity is not a poorly produced record. So to reproduce the sound of that, and Bermuda giving it the old, I can do Copeland. You know, like, and now I know this isn't like Synchronicity 2 or anything, but still, it's Copeland drum track. You know, so the production for me, just like anything that's not the first album or Eat It, the production works for me totally.
I can't disagree. And we're trampling a little. We're not even really trampling. I'm saying the Weird Al's vocal was going to be one of the things that I wanted to talk about that works so well in this too.
Right.
And it's so clean. And again, like you were saying, I don't. It depends on what you're looking for, Right. And so it's better in a way because of it's so clean, but I think also the fact that it kind of stands in contrast to how Sting sang the Police song, that feels intentional in a way too, because obviously they're two very, very different subject matters,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and I think the cleanness of it strips away some of the pain from King of Pain, and it makes it smoother, like Suede. And I'm probably reaching very, very much here, but it's okay. Because I think, the clean vocal is what this version needs, and Sting's gritty is not the word, but that warble, that emotion that's there, that is necessary for that. But yeah, I just love Al's clean vocal on this. And I'd love to hear Al sing King of Pain this way, because I don't think they're even. So I know that some of Al's parodies are in a different key than the original, but this is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds the same to me. But along those lines of how his vocals. So my favorite part of King of Pain, with the exception of the first chorus because it's kind of mellow, but once it kicks in, I adore the melody and the flow of the chorus. And so going into this, I was like, they really need to nail that, because to me that is the meat of the song, because it's so catchy and so hooky, and they totally nailed it. So and I was like, okay, good, because I was going to be like, this is going to be, it's going to be a fail if they can't get that, and they have the flow to it. It's perfect and very well done. So yeah, that's when I heard that, I was like, okay, yay, makes me happy, and I'm glad they were doing it, because that, like I said, that's my favorite part of that whole song.
Yeah, they do a great job with it. I don't like another thing that when we listened side by side today to King of Pain and then King of Suede, just because that's a good way to do this, especially when it's a direct parody, right? And so to what you're talking about, when the song actually kicks in, on that second verse, right? That's where the drums happen. It's not on the beat. Right? It's slightly behind where you feel like it should be when everything kicks in. And I think in my brain, when I hear this song, I hear the drums on the on beat, but then when we were listening to King of Pain, I was like, oh, that's slightly behind. And I think that's part of what's happening here. And so then when he switched over to King of Suede, I was like waiting for that part to happen, because I'm like, do I hear it on the on beat because Al did it on the on beat, or because my brain just wants to fix it? And then we got to that part of King of Suede, and they were also just behind it doing the exact same thing. I was like, oh no, they absolutely nailed that. So if I had to, and I do have to have, because that's the format of the show, if I have a second thing that I think works about this track, it's how they nailed those little bits, like you were saying, like Bermuda really got that the Copeland drum track down, and it's like there was definitely a lot of attention paid to the nuances in the original.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that was one thing I did notice too, was that, and you're right, it is still a Stuart Copeland drum track, and they did it very well. So, and because I was listening to the kick drum specifically to hear that was the same, and it sounded great. And I only have one minor, we'll get to it, minor complaint about the production later. I don't want to poo-poo all over everything.
Yeah, we're in the positive half of the show.
But no, 100% that little hesitation was there, and it was great. It's great. I mean, even the opening, the mood, the opening piano and the vocals, even though it's a slightly different tone, because it's not quite as depressing as King of Pain. It's about clothing and stuff like that. I do think though that as fun as it is, there's still a little bit of sadness in the lyrics, because of the guy's been doing the same job for 30 plus years, and whatever. So there's still enough, and with the opening bit, which is slightly haunting in the original, they still did a great job dropping it in on this one, the opening, because it's a sound. I mean, you recognize the song from that first note.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or
so
if you're me, you recognize it at the very end. When you
right. Hey,
I'm not kidding you.
familiar.
I'm not kidding you. As a kid, I was like, wait a minute. Like when I dropped the needle on the other thing, I was like, hold on a second. That's the same ending as that other song.
That's great.
But yes, I understand exactly what you're saying. I thought about that this morning. I listened to both of them back to back at like 8 o'clock this morning, and I was like, as soon as the Weird Al one started, I was like, man, that's like nailed.
Yeah.
It's not just going, I'm going to play these exact piano keys. It's the feeling that's there.
Yep.
Like, you guys labored the point very well about the drumming. The feeling is there. It's not just playing this drum track. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't listen to both of the tracks side by side. I did a couple times, but I actually did a playlist with the complete albums, because I had never listened to In 3D all the way through until preparing for this. So I literally went from In 3D to Synchronicity, and that's how I listened to them over and over again.
That is beautiful. And actually, I appreciate that you asked about this, and I was like, no, definitely take the time to do it. So,
okay,
because we might as well. I feel like you're talking about stuff that works, and we're getting through this album. So you hadn't listened to In 3D in its entirety before preparing for this. So, what are your thoughts on this beautiful album?
Well, of course, I knew of Eat It because I was a child of the 80s, so it was kind of like, yeah, it was there. There was no getting away from it. And I do agree with Russ's comment on the productions and the solo too. Not great, but still fun. And
Damn it, Rick Derringer.
I know.
Right. Anyway, and I did find it amusing because I remember you did. You said that Al wanted Midnight Star to be the single.
He did.
And I'm glad he didn't. I mean, it's a fun song. It is a fun song, but you definitely don't get the popularity with that one. I enjoyed all the references in that song.
Are you suggesting that Michael Jackson was the more popular artist to be known for at the time?
I'm just saying, if you're going to copy somebody, if you're going to parody somebody, you might as well do that. And as I mentioned before, his version of the Safety Dance in Brady Bunch is way better, mostly because of all the TV shows he references, because I watched all of those because I was a TV kid.
Right.
Everything he lists, I'm like, yep. I watched it all because, that's even Barney Miller. That was part of my, that night. I love the satire of Buy Me a Condo.
Hold on. A side note on the TV thing. I honestly don't know if you're familiar with this. Have you heard Money for Nothing, the Beverly Hillbillies by Weird Al from the UHF soundtrack?
I have not.
Okay, if you get a chance, listen to that.
I will look that up.
You don't have to listen to the whole record, but
I have homework.
Yeah, so he woke me up playing that the other morning.
So, well, what you were talking about with the TV references. So it's Money for Nothing,
right?
But which, by the way, Mark Knopfler plays the guitar on Weird Al's version of it.
Very nice.
And but anyways, it's Money for Nothing, but it's just the lyrics to Beverly Hillbillies. So it's like now let me tell you, one day he was shooting, old Jed was shooting at some food, when all of a sudden right up from the ground there came a bubbling crude. And then of course the harmony comes in with or that is, well, maybe you call it, like, and you're
Black
just like
gold or Texas tea.
And you're like, and when you're listening to it, you're just like, how again, like who was like, you know what, here's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, the Brady Bunch reminded me of that, but I would love for you to listen to that track and let me know what you think.
All right, I have homework.
And it's Sting related, because Sting doesn't sing on the Weird Al.
That's right.
Yeah, he goes,
he does. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Beverly Hillbilly.
Was that you? I blew you. I think it was Your Mind. I blew with the Don't Stand So Close to Me.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Dayton, that Sting, the reason he didn't take a pay, he didn't get paid for Money for Nothing, his vocal on it.
He got nothing for money.
Yeah, he got nothing for doing that. And years later, people were like, were you, did you ever think you should have got a paycheck for that? And he was like, well, all I did was rip myself off. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, because all he's doing is Don't Stand So Close to Me, but he's just saying, I want my MTV.
Yeah.
So I was telling Lauren that story once. Somewhere on our channel, there's a video, and I'm telling that, and like as it's coming out of my mouth, Lauren's looking like, what? I was like, wait, are you learning this right now?
Yeah.
And so anyways, I'm sorry. I did not mean to derail. Please listen to Money for Nothing. The Beverly Hillbillies by Weird Al. The only thing I don't like about it is the title is clunky, but it's literally called Money for Nothing.
Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, that's legal for you right there.
Yeah.
Right,
But
right.
having said that, you had mentioned the brilliance that is Buy Me a Condo. And then I came in like a bowl of chai shop. Please go on.
No, like I said, I love the satire of that song. I love the idea of what is our status symbols at that time in this country. So, of course, a little alligator on the shirt. I loved all the little references. I am happy to hear that he ditched the accent when he performs it live. So good for him. I'm like I said, I used to watch Mel Brooks movies and whatever. So things like that don't offend me, but we all need to evolve, and he got that, and that's cool. But I still think it's a fun song.
Mm-hmm.
Lost in Jeopardy. Okay. I don't dislike the song like Russ does as far as the original, but
Nobody
I will
does.
say, but I will say, I'm much more of a fan of the breakup song from Greg Kihn, way more than
Oh yeah,
Jeopardy.
they just don't write them like that anymore.
Oh,
that's
there
right.
you go.
Very well. Woo!
Would you let him continue?
Whoa! Wow, that's.
I'm sure you see
where
me
I'm gonna
tweet
go.
about this all the time, but we constantly in this house we have the Casey Kasem countdowns on, like the IR radio station. And the other day, Casey Kasem told, at least an 8-minute story about Greg Kihn and in the puns and stuff. And the whole time he was telling the story like you weren't gonna know who it was. Like he was like one of his albums is called Citizen Kihn, and another one is Continued. And then he was like, that's right. It's the Greg Kihn Band. And I was like, yeah, because you said Kihn a lot.
That's hilarious.
Like,
So,
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it. But anyways, I think I do like the other Greg Kihn material. It's like Jay Giles. I like everything better than Freeze Frame and Centerfold.
Agreed. I agree with that. But that was I enjoy the Lost in Jeopardy. It's a fun song. So I was familiar with that before too. Now Polkas in 45. That's a great way to end side one. And because of this song, and it didn't even occur to me for like 3 or 4 days, I had Inagata DeVito in my head for a few days, and I kept thinking, where did I hear this? Why is this in my head? And I even thought it was a Simpsons episode where Bart strips the music to the but all of a sudden I went back to listen to this. I'm like, oh, that's where it came from. That's where it is.
Don't you know that I love you?
Right. And I do like.
Does that go into Owner of a Lonely Heart from that?
Don't you know that I love you? And I gotta do. Don't you know that I'll always be true?
No. Hey Joe.
No.
Hey,
Yeah, there's Hey Joe.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
And we have, of course, another nod to the police on that one. So
every breath you take.
Yeah. Yep. Mr. Pompeo is so much fun. Now, one of the benefits of having an older brother is that you get to hear music that's above your age range at the time. So I actually knew, I had heard Rock Lobster before we got Love Shack and all that other stuff. So hearing this, I was like going, oh, yep, totally nailed that. And you guys were talking about Pitchmen. So this is me. I remember all those. I'm sure we had some of those SD unit TV stuff in our house, but the Pitchman I like is Dr. Nick Riviera from The Simpsons, along with the guy, the actor that's always on there. I can't remember his name now. That Phil Hartman did his voice. It'll hit me right before we're done here. But anyway,
I know what you mean.
It's Dr. Nick because he's always selling the worst things on the planet. The chewing gum that straightens your teeth and everything else. I just love that Dr. Nick. So he's my favorite because he's not real. And
that's great.
And I haven't bought anything from him. So there you go. Now, of course, we're talking about King Sway, but The Boy That Can Dance is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! I had never heard that until this, and I was just like, "Oh my god,
what
this is
jam.
so much fun!"
That's the flip side on the 7-inch for Eat It.
We're excited.
Yeah,
that's the thing that made me want to buy the rest of the record because I everybody else. I 75 cents for a 7-inch at Kmart. Man, I bought Eat It and I was done.
Save it. Yeah. You're the only guest on that episode.
What? Of That Boy Can Dance?
Yeah.
No, I know. But yeah, that is the song that made me be like, damn it, I think I want to hear the rest of this album.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, well, it was actually I probably heard it when we did the episode for us, the top 7 originals from Weird Al, but this listen go by, I was like, well, man, this is so much fun and just such a bopping song, and I think it's actually my second favorite track on the album. So it's great. The theme from Rocky 13, not so much. I think it's actually my least favorite. It's my second least. I think
it's the second worst production on the album after Eat It.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just not as fun as I was expecting out of it, I guess.
For me, a lot of Eye of the Tiger is the key
that
it's in. Oh, and that takes a lot of the wind out of.
Yeah. I like the idea of the retired boxer owning a deli, but I just kind of feel like
I was telling Lauren, if you count, I just said this to Lauren the other day, if you count the Creed movies, we're going to get to Rocky 13.
100%. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like he knew. He knew.
Al knows things. Remember, if we listen in The Saga Begins, he says, and I'll be playing this part till the end of time. And lo, that was in Yoda. I'll be playing this part till the end of time. And lo, Mark Hamill's back.
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, he's a prophetic dude.
The fact that
you're right. It was Luke.
He didn't even,
I said the wrong song first.
Oh, yeah. Well, The Saga Begins, he knew that with only seeing the trailer. He got that just like 100% right, which is just amazing. So, and I absolutely love Nature Trail to Hell. Just love it. I just
jam.
It's a perfect way to finish the album. Love it. I was just so excited. Yeah.
And if you're of a certain age and you grew up on 80s slashers, and I don't mean just Friday the 13th. I mean Sleepaway Camp and without going into, there's so many slashers in the 80s, and this song is like all of them. And my favorite thing in the song is the when we bring you Nature Trail Part 2, like it's like for sure that's coming. Like,
yeah, I know. The only slight complaint I have about that one is I just think the end goes on a little bit too long. He just keeps repeating it. That's about it. But yeah, it's so much fun. But yes, because there were so many bad horror films made in the 80s because they were cheap to make, and that's why. And most of them went direct to video.
Yeah, I found out from a coworker of mine recently that there was a slasher flick filmed here in Jacksonville, and the woods scenes were filmed in the nature preserve of the university where I teach. And so now I need to find this movie. I can't remember what it's called off the tip of my, at the front of my brain, but I do remember the tagline. The tagline is the feel bad Thanksgiving slasher of the year.
That's so great.
And I'm like, I think I need this because my coworker told me, like, he's our video guy, and so he's like in the the local like cinematographer community, filmmaker stuff, and he said that when I watch it, I will recognize the places in the wood scene because it's very like, oh yeah, that's UNF right there.
That's so cool.
I'm like, I gotta have to watch this now. And then never go into the nature preserve again.
I was gonna say,
yeah, that'll cure you of that.
That sure will. I have one more thing that I wanted to point out that I think really works about King of Suede. Are we all otherwise there?
Yeah. Sorry about my distraction, my derailment. So.
No, that was necessary. And here's the thing: I wanted that perspective here for because. Like I said at the top, like everybody who's here is like, I love Weird Al. He's the best. And like, I've heard all of the albums since I was like a zygote, and for you to hear this for the first time, as a fully formed human being, I think it's a cool perspective that literally doesn't happen here. I don't remember not knowing what was on this album.
Yeah.
And I like getting that. Not everybody is like that, and now that you've heard it, you have opinions, and that's so cool.
I got great news. The dude's got 13 other studio records you should check out too. Starting with UHF.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I have homework.
And the other one on there, obviously it's a TV themed album. The other one, I think if you don't like the original song, I think you'd still find the parody funny is Tone Loc's Wild Thing he does on there, but it's all about Gilligan's Island. And
doing that Gilligan's Isle thing.
He says there's a verse where he goes on about how much his girlfriend loves the professor, And he's like, I said, if he's so fly, then tell me why he couldn't build a lousy raft. That's my favorite line in the whole song. But Lauren, please enlighten us. What is your next?
The third thing that I think really works is, I know we talked about, the lyrics and how clever they are and stuff like that. I wanted to talk about kind of the dichotomy that got created between the original lyrics and Weird Al's lyrics, because the Police King of Pain song, it's dark, but if you just kind of look at it, it's a whole bunch of metaphors. There's nothing tangible in King of Pain.
Right.
There's a black spot on the sun. There's something on a high treetop. There's something that's over here with a broken back. All this stuff is, and it's this bad thing, that's my soul. This bad thing, that's my soul. And it's just it's nebulous. It's more of a feeling than it is something concrete that you can grab onto. Mm-hmm. And right. I love that what Al did is the complete opposite of that, to the point where when I hear King of Suede, I can smell this place.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's next to the arcade, and the arcade has certain
smell. So you got the mix of quarters and suede and leather, and then then you also get a set I guess what I'm getting at is if I had to define this thing that I'm saying I think works, is that this is such a clear, tangible picture, and I love how different that is from the original one, right?
Yep.
The line about you can try on our suede underwear if you choose.
I'm choosing not to.
Yeah. For several reasons. I don't think underwear you just take a chance on. You don't try on underwear.
It either fits or doesn't, and if it doesn't fit, you don't take it back. So.
Right, you move on.
Yeah, you move on. Yes.
You try, and then suede underwear. I don't know about
that's gotta be comfortable.
Yeah,
or real crazy. Sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. If we ever move north again, then I'll try it there. Not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I'll tell you what, it'd start to stink fast. So I guess but again, there's a place, and
yes,
it evokes in me the that Saturday Night Live sketch with Jimmy Fallon where he's the leather man, where everything is squeaking and making all sorts of noise. And so that's what in my brain, that's what I kind of see as this place, because that's something I've seen that is in line with this. But then there's so many other things, the cutoff sweaters from that Flashdance flick.
Yep.
It's, like I said, it just paints such a clear picture that, you can't read anything into it other than what it is. Whereas the Police song, it's you can interpret that in so many different ways because there's nothing tangible. And I think that's a fun thing.
Right. I like I said, I love the story he tells with this one. And I think that's why the Rocky 13 falls flat for me, because I get a much better image and picture and a better story from this one than that one.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Yeah. This one's just, I can see this person. I can see this guy working. I can see the expression on his face, and you can smell the store, and so, I totally get this. I enjoy the story on this one. Yeah.
Well, so that's what works about King of Suede. I'm sure there's more. We just didn't cover it all, but that's what we all feel here works about King of Suede. I think it's time to send it over to some ads because, life ain't free. And on the flip side of that, we're gonna see, is there anything we think doesn't work about King of Suede? So come back for the womp womp portion of the show. We'll catch you on the other side.
We interrupt this program to bring you a news blast.
Michael Jackson's ghost seen at a Yankees game.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, now with a shrimp in every bite.
Lil Uzi Vert's head diamond has been sold on the dark web.
Stories like this and more can be found at the EverTrending Story, a podcast where we peruse the news and write a fun fictional story for you.
Find us wherever you download podcasts and follow us on the socials at EverTrending Pod, and we are proud members of the OddPods Media Network.
Hey there, I'm Dave, the host of Beer in Front. Sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet. I'll talk about some old school beers that maybe you've forgotten about, some new beers that have the potential to be a classic. I'll also talk to various people around the beer world and get their stories all about beer. That's Beer in Front, and it's available on all of your favorite podcast apps.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Ah,
Man in the can, get back in that can.
That is never gonna get old for me.
We're gonna have to watch that again after this.
Yeah, probably we're gonna go watch some Man in the Can, get back in that can. Look at this. I left us on a Jimmy Fallon sketch, and we come back to a Jimmy Fallon sketch.
Yeah.
well done.
I didn't.
played.
That was not on purpose. I love Jimmy Fallon, but that is,
Me too. I understand the whole internet hates him, but the whole internet hates everything. So
I have loved Jimmy Fallon since his tenure on Saturday Night Live, where he did that sketch where he was Randy Goldman in the high school where Maya Rudolph was doing the boarding show with Rachel Dratch in the high school.
Yeah.
And she had a crush on Jimmy Fallon's Randy Goldman. I loved Jimmy Fallon to the point where I'm literally, do you remember that paper that you used to be able to get? You'd put it in your printer and then you could iron it onto a shirt.
yes.
Yes.
I made myself in Microsoft Paint thing that said "Future Mrs. Randy Goldman,"
Okay, so
and
it was
I
real
ironed
high
it.
quality.
I ironed it onto a T-shirt.
Very nice.
So, and I wore it a lot.
Very nice.
Anyway, we are on to the stuff that we think doesn't really work about King of Suede. Now, Dayton, I know you kind of alluded to the fact that you had something,
I did.
so you might as well go first.
All right. So it's a very minor thing, and I do agree for the most part on the production quality of this song for sure. But my only complaint is the guitar tone during the chorus and the brief solo kind of is lacking the edge from Andy Summers' tone. It's not
The
it's not
Edge
the same.
is in you too.
I know.
Yeah, good
I'm
one.
joking.
Yeah, haha. Well done. It definitely doesn't have his tone either. But there's just a little bit more on the original one that was lacking on this one. But apart from that, because I sat there, I had my headphones on, I'm like listening. That was one of the few times I literally went back and forth to those same spots. I was like, yeah, that part doesn't sound the same. That doesn't feel the same. And it's like I said, it's a very minor thing. And the music
I know this doesn't make it okay, but it's still a ton better than Rick Derringer's terrible excuse for a tone in Eat It.
I don't disagree.
I know that it's very famous that everybody chases the brown sound, and people for 30, 40 years now have been trying to find that Van Halen tone, but you could have come anywhere near closer, Rick. Damn it. So I know that two wrongs don't make a right, but I'm just saying it's still way better. The guitar tone in this is way better than.
Fabulous.
But then again, the guitar tone in a guitar falling down a stairway is better than the guitar tone in Eat It. So
Wow.
You heard it here, folks. The man has opinions.
I don't mind Rick Derringer, rock and roll hoochie coo. I get excited when Real American plays like everybody else, but
Yeah.
fix your guitar tone, dude. And also
Right.
learn how to play the damn solo while you're at it. I have a thing that doesn't work for this.
Okay.
It's not Wrapped Around Your Finger, which is a song I love way more than this song. So
Okay. So,
I wish it was Wrapped Around Your Finger.
all right. If Weird Al were to have done a parody of Wrapped Around Your Finger.
No, I'm not done. Don't make me that. Nope, I'm not going to be that guy. Oh, you know what you should have done?
No, I'm not asking you to be that guy.
I totally thought you were asking.
No,
me.
I'm
Yeah,
I mean,
I thought so too. I thought so. She
you could
was
be that
going.
guy. I'm just thinking. Now my brain is thinking like, well, what could it have been? Because it wouldn't have been about the same topic.
I don't know. I leave that up to the expert.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
true.
wish you would have picked that song instead of this one. Plus, the video would have been amazing. With
Yes.
Sting running around with candles and all that stuff. Weird Al could have had a field day with that video.
You would have had a fire extinguisher at
Oh,
some
man.
point.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
dangerous.
Especially at the end where like Sting on purpose knocks them all down. It would have been hilarious if there was no way Weird Al could get them to fall down. Like the whole thing would have been great. But I just love that. That's my favorite police song of all time is Wrapped Around Your
Okay.
Finger. So that's my big fault with this is that I don't if you grab someone off the street and you ask them to name a police song, they're going to say Every Breath You Take. If you ask them to name two, they're probably going to say Roxanne.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
If you ask them to name three, it's going to be a long time before they get to King of Pain.
Which is unfortunate because that's actually my favorite song.
I'm not discounting the song. I'm just saying
you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
you're 100% right.
Yeah, for the popularity of it, I just feel like
they would do Synchronicity or Don't Stand Too Close. Yeah, they'd get to everything else before they get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even fans of Kevin from The Office's police tribute band Scrantonicity would know that song.
So funny.
But yeah, I just that's my thing. It's why can't you be more like your brother? I wish it was, you know what I mean? I just wish it was wrapped around your finger.
Well, I get that. I feel that. I appreciate that. And wrapped around your finger actually helped me in high school because we were reading Faustus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I know what this is. I know Mephistopheles. This makes sense. I understand this. I don't have to read this now. And I thought I was like all cool and stuff. And then my English teacher, Mr. Wells, was like, hey guys, here's a police song that's related to the thing we read. And I was like, no, you're taking away my leg up now.
That's great.
No.
It'd be like somebody being like, hey, did you know Ramble On? Shut up. I'm trying to write a book report about Lord of the Rings and work in Led Zeppelin. Stop telling people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm prepared for this.
For what doesn't work?
Yeah.
Well, you also don't have to have something. You don't have to manufacture something.
No, I'm not like trying to manufacture something or anything about it. Because I definitely do agree with you. I think if there was any one thing that I think doesn't work, and because from what I said about something that does work, is I like the contrast between what Al's lyrics are doing versus what the police lyrics are doing. I think that he could have come up with a different thing to say in that background instead of saying, is my size up there every single time? Because that doesn't always work after the lines in the lyrics.
Right.
Right? It works, that's my soul up there works after every line in the police song, but is my size up there doesn't work after every line in King of Suede, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
See, I didn't manufacture that. That's real.
It is real.
Well, see, if it had been wrapped around your finger, this wouldn't have been a problem. So I think we all learned something today.
I mean, it probably would have been, won't you pull my finger?
Yeah.
I would be here for a police song about farts. Tell me.
Yeah. I'm on board for that. Write out a letter.
Looks like I have some homework to do.
Right.
She said she plans on writing lyrics to wrapped around your finger about farting. Stay tuned.
Right.
I make so many false promises on this show. I still haven't started that Weird Al Chia Pet either, but we need to make sure that we have we're trying to grow
We're
things.
growing a lot of things at once right now. Would you just back off with the Chia Pet? We got too much going right now.
We really do. We planted a banana tree.
You got the banana tree or the Chia Pet, and you chose the banana tree.
I did choose the banana tree. So we planted a banana tree, and we have named it Harry Belafonte. And
as one does,
as you do, that's what happens.
Who is next to our hanging strawberry plant, Strawberry Gib?
Strawberry Gib. Yep. I could not help but laugh at the planting instructions on this banana tree, and we're gonna get to the rating of the song here in just a second. But I feel like the world needs to know that the thing on this banana tree, it tells you, to dig a hole as deep as the root ball and twice as wide, and to break up the root ball and to put it in there and do all this stuff. The last line on the planting instructions: water deeply.
So this is a family show, so I don't want to get in. I don't want to get into too much detail, but I want everyone to know it was watered deeply.
It was watered deeply, and just for fun, we put a dog poop in there.
Yeah, we had a friend of ours come over last summer and plant a bunch of stuff around our yard, and he was like going around and scooping up dog poop with the shovel and putting it under stuff. He's like, yeah, this is like the best fertilizer these can get when they're new. So we did that.
Yeah, so we put a poop under there.
Not only was it watered deeply, but it was pooed deeply as well.
Yeah.
That would explain why my backyard grows so well, because that's where my dog poops.
Yep, there you go.
And that's what happens.
The front yard, not so much. The backyard, all over the place.
Yeah, it's great. So I guess we're on to the rating portion of this program. Mm-hmm. You're rating the song on a scale of 1 to 27. Now, I am I am kind of limited because I've had to do this with every song on this album, so I know which one I've rated the lowest. So I don't have a huge range to work with here. So don't calibrate yourself based on me. You can calibrate yourself based on whatever it is that you feel. I don't know. Who wants to go first? I'm not a good baseline. It shouldn't be me.
I went first last time I was on, so Dayton, you go first.
Absolutely. So I'm actually I really like this one, and so I'm actually gonna give it a 20. You know, it's not perfect, but it's really good. It's a good version, a nice parody. Like all the things we said that works, great. And I only had the one thing that didn't work, so yeah, I give it a 20.
That's fair.
So I came into this episode with it rated at a 20, removing 7 points, of course, because it's not wrapped around your finger. But then Dayton made the point about the guitar tone, which I honestly do agree with, and that deducts 1 more point, so 19.
Okay. I like that. That's solid. So, faithful listeners of the show will know that Buy Me a Condo is like my least favorite track on this album, but I still like it very, very much. And on that episode, I gave that a rating of 22. So I'm going to give this 23 because I like it a lot. But it's not perfect. So again, I got to get through the end of this album. And then when we kick off doing the tracks on Dare to Be Stupid, I think I'm going to have to be a harsher grader so that I don't paint myself into a corner like this again.
Right.
I've done that, and I'm not mad at it. You know, I'm just gonna say, like, look, I've got a whole different system starting with the next album, but for now, I'm backed in here.
There was like shock and awe with my rating last time I was on. It's like, it's okay for it to be rated. Like you need to, there's a reason why there's 27 in your
right.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, Buy Me a Condo, 26 3/4.
Well, I had come in with Buy Me a Condo lower, and then we had such a good conversation about it. I was like, well, crap.
Right.
So it got moved up a little bit.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that. We had a discussion when we did our episode on 2112 from Rush. My regular guest got super mad at me because I only gave it a 3 out of 5. And I mean, one guy pretty much, you know, he knocked his camera off his off his computer because he was so mad at me. I'm like, but it's not
Does
moving
he
pictures?
Does he not know that the only good songs are on side 1?
Well, see, that was my whole point.
Yeah.
You know, side 1 is a masterpiece, and side 2 is kind of, I always forget what's on side 2.
I will say this: side 1 is a masterpiece, and then side 2 is also there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and my whole thing
side
was,
2 exists.
had they reversed that,
Yeah.
you know, like had 2112 been side 2, it would have felt better.
Right.
Because you kind of build up to that amazing piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this way, you had the art first, and you have kind of, this is what's left over.
Yeah, and then here are some more songs that are just there. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, that's a 3 out of 5 record.
See, thank you for agreeing with me. Woo! I feel vindicated.
Yeah, look at it. It's going to be recorded. It will be published, and you can share it with people. Say, like, look, go to minute whatever, 58.
And now, since there's 2 sources, now you can update the Wikipedia page for 2112 and be like, this is a 3 out of 5 record. Speaking of, you know what? Side note, I used to go back and forth with this moron on the Pink Floyd Wikipedia page, and I finally got my way, and it's the facts are there now. But it is a common misconception in the rock world that Pink Floyd did the Dark Side of the Moon for, straight through for the first time in 19 years at the New Jersey show in 1994, which was July 18th, 1994. That's false. They did it in Detroit, Michigan, Pontiac Silverdome, July 15th, 3 days earlier. I know because I was in 4th goddamn row for that show. You're going to have to censor that. And so I know that I was there, and some dude kept going back and editing the Wikipedia after me and being like, no, I was at Jersey. It happened. I'm like, I have recordings of both shows, moron. Like I physically have. So I had to go back. I finally got to where either he stopped or whoever's in charge, I was so mad.
Lord Wikipedia.
Yeah, Lord, I'm sure that's who's in charge.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, now you have 2 sources, your own show and this show that where it's just now fact that
Right.
2112 is a 3 out of 5 record. So go edit the Wikipedia page once this comes out.
Yeah, I'll do that, but I won't, because I always hate when people.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's why I don't read the comments on stuff either. I don't like reading comments, because I just lose my will to live when I start reading comments about posts. I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, live in a more peaceful space about it. So,
Yes.
well, that's it. We've covered King of Suede. Now, Dayton, I know you talked about your show at the beginning of this episode. Mention it again at the end, and I will put links and stuff in the show notes. But, now that people have heard you again and they're like, ooh, I need to listen to that, don't make them rewind. Tell them where to go.
Well, the people that are not disgusted by your Rush rating.
I know, right? And I apologize if you lost any listeners because of that. So, So, first of all, thanks for having me on again and helping with my education on Weird Al. So thank you very much for that. I do want to mention something that we've been working on now. Disney John, who will be on in a couple weeks, him and I have been working on a board game now for 2 years. We finally got an artist to help us with our actual board, and Russ knows and kind of told him about it.
Mm-hmm.
You take on you're the founding member of a hair metal band on the Sunset Strip in 1987-ish, and we're still playtesting. We're still it's amazing how much playtesting you have to do to make sure your game isn't broken, and we're there. We're happy with most of it. We got the playtime down from 3 hours down to 90 minutes. We had to make some concessions, but we did that. But we finally got an artist, and I will give the link for our Discord for that so people can see how that's going. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. We need to find a way to meet you halfway. Like if you guys go to Detroit again, I will drive up there and bring the game with me so you guys can play it.
We will be in Detroit in the end of June. We will take it offline and tell you more about that.
Sounds fantastic.
Oh, I like that little.
And one of the things we're doing is seeing Sunset Boulevard, my friend's arena rock tribute act that does only stuff from a 80. Like they sent me the other night what they're working on to add to their set list and stuff like Wild Side by Motley Crue and I Don't Know by Ozzy and all this. So well, yeah, so that would be a thing.
Yeah,
that would be a thing.
We'd
Indeed.
see the band and then play the game of the band.
What?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, Docking Bay 77, we are streaming anywhere you get your podcasts. On social media, pretty much at Docking Bay 77 Pod is where you can find us. Coming up in June, some of the episodes where you have to look forward to, we are discussing the Disney Channel original TV series Gravity Falls, which is fantastic and a lot of fun. For Pride Month, we are doing a couple episodes. We're doing In and Out versus Jeffrey, hosted by our regular.
I love In and Out so hard.
And so do we. Robert's hosting that one. And then we're also, this was a first watch for me, we're doing the Gus Van Sant directed film Milk, starring Sean Penn. Sean Penn totally deserved that Oscar. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it makes me physically angry when people say that was a gimme. Like they
whatever.
Yeah, I know.
And of course all the shots of San Francisco just made me homesick. And then to end the month, we are discussing Paul Thomas Anderson's film Punch Drunk Love, starring Adam Sandler.
I heard that movie too.
Yes, it's a fantastic movie. And our friend from Patrick O'Reilly from the Vintage Video Podcast will be joining us for that episode. So that's what you have to look forward to for June.
Hooray! That sounds like a good June.
It is going to be a very good June.
Ross, what are we doing? What are we doing on the Infectious Groove Music YouTube channel?
We keep banking content. We have a new series that we just started that we're having fun with, which was What's So Great About, which is another way for us to put positive spin on things. And I like that because, like, for example, I did a general video about, like, what's so great about Elvis Presley in general, but we have a forthcoming video that's coming out of, like, what's so great about Elvis in the 70s, right? So we could do, like, individual things, like you did one about Weird Al's drummer.
Yeah,
like, what's so great, right? So, you know, that's a huge, expansive series. Like, we don't have to just do, like, what's so great about, you know, what Pink Floyd. We could do, you know, this album, that album, this song, that song, this member, that. So we have that. And the reaction videos on Saturdays have been having a lot of fun with those. We have a lot in June. Most of our coverage is going to be our vinyl videos are all going to be Record Store Day pieces that the folks at
nice.
Rhino sent us. Yeah. There's a Doors live record that was part of Record Store Day. There was a Dwight Yoakam box set. There's a Talking Heads live record. That was the fine folks at Rhino shared all that with us. And we just had this is already out, but we released a video with reviewing the Tesla Record Store Day piece, which was the only thing that I personally wanted to buy from this year's Record Store Day list.
Yeah.
So that's why that video is already out. So yeah,
Awesome.
a lot of stuff. Saturday, Sunday, and Thursday every week.
I love it. I need to make sure that I mention that one of our forthcoming Saturday reaction videos is Weird Al performing You're Pitiful live, which is the parody of You're Beautiful by James Blunt that he was not allowed to put on an album. And it was Russ's first time hearing that song and seeing the performance. So it was very fun for me to watch my husband experience a Weird Al song for the first time, because that has never happened in our life before.
Yeah, it was fun. And it was spoiler, it was really good.
So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, fellas, I think we're done here.
Wonderful.
Yeah. All right. I'm really bad at ending the show, so I'm just going to say, okay, bye, and we'll talk to you on the next track is That Boy Could Dance. And that, Russ, that's just going to be you.
Okay.
So that'll be fun.
I've owned that
We
song.
can walk from the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll shuffle on over.
I've
whenever.
owned that song since before I even owned this record, so.
Hooray. So that'll be fun. All right, everybody. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Toodles.
Bye.